We got a bowl game this weekend, and we're going to dive into what's been going on over the last week here on the Sooner or Later Sports Show. Thank y'all for pulling up. I am your host, Jay. Thanks for pulling up here on the YouTube channel and listening wherever podcasts are downloaded and listened to. While you're here, please wipe your feet, like, subscribe, rate, review, give us 5 stars. You don't think we deserve it, just go ahead and give us that 5 anyway and gift it. So on today's episode, we'll have Coop in here in a bit. What we're going to do, though, just have a little fun today. We're going to dive into the latest movements in the transfer portal, as well as talk about one of the Christmas pickups. We'll also dive into the Army or the Navy game there at the Armed Forces Bowl. I'm always getting that mixed up. And we'll talk about some roster construction because Brent Venables had his press conference. I dropped a little bit of video on it, but me and Coop will dive a little bit deeper into that. So thank y'all for pulling up. This is kind of a little impromptu show. We just decided to do something random, and I was chatting with Coop earlier and was like, man, we should just pop a show up. Right? It's been a crazy holiday. It's great to see you all. Hey, Topher. Hey, Kimberly. Jake, what's good? Hey, Kenny. Hey, Chuck. No, Coop's going to actually jump in. We're going to talk about a few other things. We're going to talk about more so the Navy and Oklahoma preview. So we're going to talk about what to expect there and honestly some people in the portal that we love to hear about. So we'll dive into a few other things and kind of get some questions and stuff answered from you all in the chat. So go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe, share, all and out there or whatnot. Like I said, this is kind of an impromptu, just pop-up show, just to kind of hang out, talk ball, talk about what we got to prepare for in the coming game. So, but besides that, man, it's the portal itself, and I kind of want to pull this up specifically because I want to talk about just how quiet but not quiet the portal has been for the Sooners. I know a lot of people kind of wonder what more are we going to actually do. And let me get this all squared away real quick. So I want to pull up who we've brought in the portal because we got, 9 commits so far. And kind of take a gander at what makes sense for Oklahoma going forward and what the Sooners need to do. So let me pull that up real quick. But besides that, how's everybody doing on this beautiful post-Christmas day? How was your Christmas? Love to hear from you all in there. Hop in the comments. Love to hear how the holiday treated you all. Let's see. There we go. This is exactly what I was looking for. And let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. Good stuff. Let's see. Because truth be told, I think we're pretty solid when it comes to the additions that we're going to have here in the portal, personally. But I think we've got a couple more. Brent Venables talked about it in his presser. He's got a few more. He mentioned more on offense. To me, I think you need to grab, 2 more defenders? That will make sense, but I don't know. What do y'all think? I'm actually getting this together. For some reason, my sharing is acting weird, but of course, I'm doing a pop-up show, so that would be the time for everything to act all extra odd. There we go. Let me zoom this in real quick and let you all see what I am looking at. See if it works this time. There we go. Yeah, Chuck, I did. That's one thing I'd say definitely would love to get is another wide receiver. And T, it's a good point. 2 might be solid, but I really want to lean in on the young players. Like, I want to see more Zion Kearney. He's only a true freshman, so he still needs a little bit more seasoning. But I would like to get more of the young guys playing or whatnot. And Jesse, you're 100% right. We are in a numbers game at this point. As you look at the roster today, Brent Venables mentioned 56 scholarship players are available. We got 12 freshmen on offense as well as defense that will be playing, that are available to play in this game. And once you add in your transfers, so you got 8 so far, I do want us to grab an additional tight end. I think that would be good. But BV mentioned that Von Mitchell is probably going to be seeing a lot of snaps. Well, he didn't really say it that way, but he really talked about Von Mitchell. And if he's talking about Von Mitchell, it kind of makes sense that he's going to get some run. Jody, is Kearney available? Yeah, I saw Kearney on the depth chart. Let me pull up the depth chart real quick, because I know I saw on that depth chart that, let's pull this up right there. So based upon this depth chart, Kearney's is the second receiver behind Carry-On as well as Rajan. So I'm assuming he's in there. I expect Kearney to actually play in that game. See, Mark, you're asking about R. Mason Thomas. You should flip those names around. BV said that I'll put it this way. BV said he's going to let him make his own announcement of how he wants to do it, but he's playing in the game. And I'm going to be honest. If you kind of look at it, I mean, Ethan Downs is playing in the game, but he's graduating. Dejon Terry's going to play. He's graduating. But mostly are players that are prepping for the draft. They're not playing, and R. Mason is expected to play. And I say that as in, if R. Mason's grade is at a point where he should leave as a junior, he ain't playing in this game. To my personal opinion, it makes more sense for you not to play in this game if you have the grade for like day 2. If you have a high day 2 grade, I wouldn't play. I'd tell you not to. Let us get the young guys on the field, because to me, unless you're playing in the playoffs or something like that, I want the young players on the field. I want to see some of the young guys go out there, because that's what I've always felt like bowl season was. If it wasn't one of the bigger ones, I want to see the young guys plays and get everybody excited and prepare for next season, what we hope to continue to see. So that is what it is. And I know that everybody ain't very excited about it. Little folks a little nervous about it. And totally understand the nervousness around this game, because it's just, things ain't been working the best for us. So we'll see kind of how that goes. What's going on, Duck? Good to see you. Good to see you. I definitely, with R. Mason Thomas playing, think you're good. Same thing with Vaughn. Vaughn will be ready to play this coming week. Oh yeah, do me a favor. Don't feed the trolls. Don't feed the trolls in the comments. No point. Don't waste your time with those people. They don't deserve your attention. Hence why they don't get mine. But looking at the depth chart, though, and it's kind of like what I'm going to talk through with Coop once he gets a chance to jump on. I'm actually curious. So you got 2 quarterbacks basically on roster with Michael Hawkins and Casey Thompson. So, you cross your fingers and toes that things go good. But the way Navy plays balls, listening to Gabe and Teddy over on Christmas, go check out their Christmas episode. It was really good. Really good preview. And the main thing that was pointed out is that Navy really plays like 2 different offenses. Heavy triple option, and then they'll have the occasional drop back pass, play action to kind of mix things up with the backside screen. It's always there. It's going to be all about the discipline in this game. Now, to me, I feel like this game will be similar to the Tulane game, to where we should be able to outmuscle and win this game. We have enough talent here, even the young talent. We've got enough talent. We should be able to. The most important thing is focus on discipline play, staying in the right gap, staying gap sound, and understanding your assignments. Also, making sure you got somebody watching people on the backside. They're going to be running backside screens. But, yeah, you see Von Mitchell on here. It still cracks me up seeing that he's listed at 6'3", 289. I think that's a typo. Somebody has said that they believe it's a typo. I think he's 259 and not 289. But that would be hilarious if he was 289. I'm not going to lie. That would actually be a really nice blocker. I mean, yeah, would you like that? Sign me up. I'll take 2 of those if they would hook us up with that. But having Ethan Downs is going to be fun. I'm ready to see PJ Adebaware as well as Danny Okoye really get some action. Now, of course, you got more veterans in here, But I actually expect to see a lot of Danny and a lot of PJ and a lot of Taylor Wine. Those three are the edges I really want to see the most. We know R. Mason's going to do his typical damage. Trace Ford is going to do really good playing, they call it the quote-unquote big cheetah, where he's actually in the cheetah role, but he's as an edge, so he's more of a jack role, stepping back, being able to play out. I want to see that. That would be fun to see. But I really want to see a lot of PJ as well as Okoye, because they're going to be the ones really rotating heavy in next season. But speaking of portal, I do think we need to get another defensive lineman, probably a DT or an edge would make the most sense, just to add additional depth, because you're getting a little thin there. We're in that, like I said, we're in that numbers game, as was mentioned in the comments. Got to make sure that we get there. Chuck, good question. No, I will not be at the game. I actually had a hotel booked and was gonna drive down, but I'm gonna go ahead and stay home and work. I got some projects I need to do at my day job that need to get knocked out, so I'll be doing that and I'll have the game. I'm thinking about going live and do a watch along. May hit up Sean over there, Onikuno, and see if he's going to do a watch along. I may try to jump on his stream and have it streamed on both of our channels and watch the game. That'd be fun. That should probably be a really good time. I don't know. We'll see. Topher, no, I didn't. It's not you. I'm just lazy. I'm actually tired from the last couple of days of the holidays. So it definitely ain't you. I just didn't want to. But yeah, Stevie, I'm with you on that. We need a tweener, someone that can jump around. Because you're going to see Nigel Smith probably get some big rotations in here. You're going to see, you still got Wyatt Gilmore, still got Marcus Strong. So you've got some buys, but you do need an additional. But even from there, back to talking about the transfers, I do believe as well that I do think we need an additional corner, just because we're very young and you need some bigger bodies here in the SEC. Another corner would be awesome. So you're going to have Eli Bowen. He's going to be rotating between, your field, or probably more so your boundary corner or your nickel. Kendall Dobie should be back. The question is how healthy he'll be going into the spring, or if it's more of a summertime recovery for him. Hopefully it's not summertime. Hopefully it's spring and he's able to play in spring ball. That will be able to shore up that room the most, is where Kendall Dobie is going to be. And also, I think he may have earned an additional year because of the Diego Pavia injunction. The NCAA decided to give out a little waiver for those that want to play additional football. So, hey, let's see if we can get lucky on that one. I'm hoping he decides to add another season to that. But another corner will be good. Hopefully it's the one I want is O'Connor. He's the one that I would like the most. He's the one that definitely is the one that I care the most about. Hey, Ghost, the Zach Alley news. I mean, if you read the way that the voice of Morgantown said it, it's wishful thinking. Now, did they give Zach Alley an offer? Heck yeah. They did. Mainly because he worked for Rich Rod down there at Jacksonville State. Will Oklahoma match it? Most likely. The big thing is supposedly there may be like a coach in waiting type deal. I saw somebody from West Virginia mention that. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think those work out very well for people. Doesn't feel like they ever work out that well. But I'm going to say no to the Zach Alley smoke and just tell you I don't believe that that's actually going to go down. Now, I could be wrong. I just don't believe I am. Because to me, it just doesn't make sense for Alley to leave a job where he has creative control. It's not like we're talking about him not having any type of say-so in what he does. Like, he is the dude. And Brent Venables has mentioned that, like, whenever it comes to play call and such, Allie's the one calling plays. He's running his plays the way he wants to run them. So I don't see it as a situation where Allie would or could or should feel like he doesn't have any type of creative control, because he does. And even BV mentioned that Allie's calling the plays. So I think that's one thing I've seen from some West Virginia folks saying that, oh, he'll get more control over the defense. And it's like, what more control will he need? He's already run the defense. Doesn't make any sense. So unless he's going to get a head coaching job. Yeah. And Topher, exactly my point. Will Muschamp is still the one in waiting in Texas. It literally happens. I've seen this a lot. This coach, well, didn't Utah just fire their head coach in waiting because their offense was bad? To me, if the Rich Rod reunion experiment doesn't work, does it make sense to retain the entire staff? Or retain one staff member? And say, oh, you know what? We're going to fire you. We're going to make you the new head coach. And then give you a 3 to 5 year contract. Because typically, whenever you let go of a coach, you're probably going to let go of most of the staff. Only makes sense. That's just me, though. Chucky asked a good question. How much input do you think Arbuckle has in picking the players out of the portal? I think he has an extreme amount of influence. And honestly, I think that's the reason why there was a little bit of a delay of us really jumping in the portal like we were. I do believe that Arbuckle is working with the coaching staff, picking the players that make the most sense for the scheme. That's just me, though. It only makes sense to go, if you're going to bring him in and he's going to run the offense, basically be CEO of the offense, he's going to be the one that's going to probably be vetting out the picks and the players that probably going with, right? He's probably working closely, taking input from Emmett Jones on the type of players that work. And the good thing is Emmett Jones comes from that air raid tree of coaches. I mean, he's worked at Tech, worked in Kansas. He's worked in places where the air raid has been popular in some capacity, except for Kansas, but mainly down there at Tech. So he probably has a good understanding of what type of receivers is needed. And I pointed this out in one video I did before, was that when we look at the receivers that are leaving, the unfortunate thing is, one thing you recognize is that it's a lot of the guys that Emmett Jones didn't really recruit, besides Brennan Thompson, which I hate that Brennan left, and it sounds like it just was not a good fit going forward, which, again, I hate, but made sense. But most of the receivers are now, he's kind of refreshing it with his recruits. So you got your last two classes, and now you're adding in transfers that fit a little bit more towards what Emmett Jones wants to do. Think about it that way. That's my thought process of that. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Will Arbuckle have any influence on tomorrow's play calling? Honestly, I'm going to guess yes, but not a lot. The big thing is that he's not going to have enough time to put his playbook together. He also probably doesn't have enough time to know the calls fully, but I bet you they did weave in some of his plays. I will bet my life that Arbuckle weaved in some of his plays into the playbook for this coming game. Only makes sense. He's been working with Michael Hawkins, which Brent Venables said that got your boy excited. Like, okay, so we've got a quarterback coach actually working with Michael Hawkins closely, because Kevin Johns took the job at Oklahoma State, which is, good for him. We appreciate him being here. Now he's no longer an analyst. He's actually coaching. It made sense for Ben to go ahead and step up, take the reins, work with Michael Hawkins, and now you see him doing the thing with the play calling. I could totally see him weaving some of his plays in, and Joe John Finley calling the game, but having some additional components from what Ben Arbuckle likes to do. So only makes sense. But having 3 receivers, I do think we need a 4th. Good question here about, well, it's Holden. Holden. I think it's, let me go look it real quick. He is one that I am definitely interested in. And Holden Stace, that's his name. I always try to remember his name there. Yes, I do believe that Oklahoma should kick the tires here. We did before, and we lost to Tennessee when he initially hit the portal. And because of that, I could totally see the Sooners kicking the tires on it. That was funny. I was joking in the court with actually with Topher about this. We offer Holden. We tried to get him on campus for a visit. He doesn't make the visit. Instead, he gets to Tennessee, stays, hits the portal. I'm like, well, I'm kind of glad he didn't make the visit because he'd probably be in the portal for us right now. Won't be honest. He'd probably be leaving Oklahoma. So, you know, that's probably the good thing is that now he is available. We may actually have a shot, technically. So, yeah, I think we should go after him. I would. Alan Bauman is an interesting one. That is intriguing. We'll see, but he's young, so Holden is a young guy, so that's kind of why you take advantage of him. You'd have him with Von Mitchell playing because Holden is 6'4", 250. Bowman that you're talking about. Let's see. How big is he? Let's see. Let's pull up him real quick and chat about this, how sizey this tight end is from Temple. Alan Bauman. Let's pull him up. Tulane. Alex. It's not Alan, it's Alex, Topher. I blame you for that. Let's see what Alex is. Yeah, it's going to be a long off season. Everybody keeps saying it's a long off season in general. Just, yeah, it's going to be long. I don't think it's going to be that long, though. I think it's going to be fun to speculate on what we're going to do. So I'm definitely not. Let's see. Let's look up Alex's metrics. Alex sits here. Let us pull this up. Yeah. 6'5", 245 tight end. This season, 20 catches, 212 yards, 7 touchdowns. Pretty good. I'd take them. But yeah, as you said, Chuck, it's always a long off season. That's how we do it. That, my friend, would be hilarious to hit EPL on a slant and watch him do the 100-yard dash. I bet he could catch. Me too, Sean. The Revenge Tour is going to be elite, and it will be televised. So prepare yourself for that. It's going to be a blast. All right, back to the portal itself. I think I said the biggest pickup that we need to focus on is going to be you need 2 more defensive linemen, and I do believe you need to add yourself and at a corner. Say a corner, 1 to 2 defensive linemen, and then an additional wide receiver, maybe a tight end. I'd say 6 more. That puts you at 14 transfers, and that's about the number I expected us. I expected us to do less than 15 transfers this time around. Trap, what's going on? Good to see you, G. I'm about to get you on here soon, man. We have to chop it up off season and link up and make something happen. Outlook on the season, Chuck, be honest. One, I don't think we dropped the game. I really do feel like this is going to be similar to earlier in the season, Tulane, Houston. We'll win it. It'll be a gross game. Just because Navy's really good at just holding on to the ball and running the clock. But we have the size. We should be able to push them around. But if we lose it, I'm not concerned. Mainly because this guy's coming. If we lose the game, we got John Mateer showing up. There is no reason for me to be upset. Mateer is coming. So, for me, if we drop this game, I'm only looking more forward to John Mateer running things. We win this game, I'm looking forward to Mateer and Hawkins battling it out for starting QB. Now, granted, Mateer coming in, the expectation is he will be the starting quarterback, and I don't think that that's 100% true. I think it's going to be a quarterback competition. Now, I do believe Mateer will probably end up winning out just because he knows the playbook. Gives him an advantage. And he had a really good season. So I think that that's one to keep my eye on. But for next season, that's where my excitement comes in. I'm very much lit when it comes to the Mateer era and see what he does. See what JM10 puts out there. But I see everybody's got some of the former players on the menu. Hey, man, just, we should be good. I think Coop should be pulling up in a bit. All right. From there, we added the quarterback. Not too many people were excited about adding Gonzalez, which I'm surprised he's not showing up on here. We've already got 24 out. Why isn't he on this list yet? Speak of the Coop, he shall appear. And we will add him so y'all can see his beautiful face. Nope, that's not the right person. I messed that up. Look at that. Look at that smile. That is a smile of a man that's ready to talk ball.
You know what?
How are you, Coop?
I almost forget that there's a game tomorrow. It feels between the transfer portal and the holidays and just life in general. It's like, oh yeah, and there's a game. So
football's happening.
Yeah, there's still football. And what's crazy about this is we're gonna sit here and go, yeah, I mean it's the Armed Forces Bowl, or that's this bowl, or that's that bowl, but then here in about 8 weeks, we're gonna be like, man, I'd give anything to watch the Tostitos replay bowl, So. But how's it going?
Right.
How's everybody doing good?
Yeah, the chat looks happy and chipper. We're all happy. It's we're holiday season's about done, man. I think this is the best part, and the worst part is that as the bowl games start to wind down, you start to realize, oh, we're about to hit the next year. And just as you said, I'm very much excited about next season, but I don't want to miss out on enjoying the games today. So like tomorrow's game is going to be fun. Pretty stoked to watch Michael Hawkins do work, especially with the new offense to where it's actually geared to him being able to truly throw the ball. He'll be able to make more decisions, and I'm not complaining. The old OC is out, new one's in, but we still got Joe John calling the plays. Well, we get to see what Joe John can do with actually Michael Hawkins now, because we didn't get that.
Oh yeah,
That was taken from us, right?
yeah, that's a point. Man, I'm not gonna lie. We're going out to the land. Me and about 5 other friends are going out to the land, and we're gonna go camping. Um, and I usually do our big camping trip in January, but one of our buddies has got a kid who's got some surgery he's got to have to deal with, and so long story short, we are gonna go. So when we watch the World Cup, this is first world problems I'm about to announce. So if you want to call me bougie, it is what it is. But when the World Cup happened this past go around, we were also supposed to be doing like an off-roading trip, and so your boy here went and bought a little 42-inch TV and have a generator, like a solar generator that will power the TV for about 8 hours. Watch World Cup. We're going to be doing that with the OU game. So we'll be camping around a campfire. And then just shenanigans. So I can promise you, my shenanigans. I can promise you this: if you get a really fun amount of tweets tomorrow, it's because I'm gonna be camping with some boys, and we brush our teeth with beer in the morning. So there's that.
Look, as I'm talking about, that's gonna be intriguing. I'm gonna make sure to have your tweets up. I'm gonna be watching you live tweet the entire game.
But no, Jay, I'm excited about this game for a couple reasons. Number one, I think that first of all, like most of my family were in the Navy, so when we got that call, and I was pretty excited about that. I don't know about my father-in-law and my grandfather if they're going to be like, man, hey Jay, yeah, you can come with me, Jay. It'll be about a 40-minute drive, not too far.
Yeah, that's really far.
Really, get out of here. You live in Oklahoma City. It's like 40 minutes to go to another suburb. But
yeah,
I'm pretty excited. I want to see the young pups. I want to see the younger kids. I want to see guys like Autry Dent get some run. See X, Devon Mitchell. I don't know.
Donovan Mitchell. Yeah,
I'd like to see Donovan Mitchell come play wide receiver. That'd be pretty good.
I
don't.
Interesting.
He's like a 6'4", 6'5" guy, right?
Yeah, he's got Donovan Mitchell.
Right, here we go.
Wide.
Donovan Mitchell, and he is what is he? And we don't have any. I'm gonna have to go do his. All right, 6'3", 215. A little Megatron action. Yeah,
sign me up. I'll take 2.
That'd be dope. But yeah, no. I think you get a chance to see a lot of guys. They're going to probably dump the bench and play quite a few guys because this is just let's show everybody what is still out here. So pretty excited for it. This is one of those games where I hope we win so that we can have the winning record. That's pretty much where the end of my give a crap about the end up score. It ends up being. I just want to see the guys play well. I want to see the defensive guys play well. Don't forget to. I think Danny. Did you already talk about this? But Danny Stutzman's going to be doing some stuff about the game. His tour around the game and stuff like that. And so that's kind of a cool thing.
No, I haven't heard about that. Please elaborate.
I'd have to look at it, but unless somebody in the chat, maybe he chose to not do it anymore. But I'm pretty sure. Because
I saw Canick posted a picture of him and called him washed. Asked who this fan is, but I know that BV mentioned that Stutzman and all of them are going to be there. Stutzman and Bowman, Billy Bowman's going to be there with them, hanging out.
So it's an hour and a half away, right?
Yeah, it's literally it's a hop, skip, and a jump away. What are we doing here?
Kim, you're right.
Kim, you're 100% right. He brushes his teeth with beer.
My wife cannot tell you 6 things that I do on my camping trip. Number 1, because she doesn't ask, and number 2, because she's over it already. So she just laughs. I could tell all fun types of camping stories, but that's not why you're here. So let's depth chart it.
Yeah. So I was talking about earlier, of course, who I want to see defensive side of the ball. I'm ready to see PJ and Daniel Collier go on the field together.
Yeah.
Because to me, when it comes to the bowl game and it's not the playoffs, a conference championship, something like that, I usually want to see younger players play more. Because now this is the opportunity for us to get excited about who's up and who's next. And for me, that's what I want to see. I want to see PJ. I want to see Danny. I want to see them go terrorize people. R. Mason Thomas is going to play, which to me still screams he'll be back next year. We'll just let him be the one to announce it. We won't spoil it like the one Oklahoma graphic that went out.
I retweeted it. I saw it the moment it came out, so I retweeted it, and I don't even think I ever went back to see if like it just says it's been deleted or not. But
yeah, it's gone. It got deleted. But I
quickly,
same way, very quickly. It was one of the interns that accidentally hit the button. But I do believe he's back. It only makes sense for him. If he's going to play in this game, it makes sense for him to come back. Because usually players that are first round or early day two guys, if they got that grade and they're going to go in the draft, they don't usually play in the bowl game. That's usually the ones you have sit out. No, rest, go train for that and let the young players play so that we can see them prepare for next year. So that's – I know I'm very opposite of most people. A lot of people are upset when players opt out. When it comes to these bowl games, this is truly when I want to see the young guys. I want to see what next year is going to look like. Give me a preview. Spring game don't tell me that. Spring game is a glorified scrimmage, man. It don't do nothing for me. It's not like they're going to – I mean, in a way, Michael Boganowski tries to kill his teammates, but usually most players don't try to take each other out. So you're not getting the full effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and, what does it look like when we start lighting up? I expect this. I mean, it shows right here a 4-2, I guess 4-2 hybrid look. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't run we didn't run some kind of like a bear or 4-3 type of look, running out Kip Lewis, Kobe, and Lewis Carter. I think that's probably what you're going to see a good amount of too, unless they just think that Sammy O and Luke and. I mean, I think that's why you see Lewis Carter as the backup cheetah or the oar instead of like Reggie Powers has been there for a long time. So you're going to, because there's going to be a lot of running. I mean, you're going to have a couple guys, eclipsing 20 tackles. And we just hope it's not a couple guys approaching 30 tackles because that means they're moving the ball quite a bit. Because if you guys remember the game that
Army game?
That game right there was
27-21.
We made one mistake on offense, and that was Kyler's interception. One mistake. I mean, it was like we scored every time we had the ball except for that one time. And, I mean, we won it by a possession. And it's just nuts that I remember I was at Fox and Hound watching that game, and I've never been around so many unhappy OU fans until the Tennessee game. But
I'm sorry, 28-21 in overtime. It was an overtime win. Kyler only threw for 165 yards in that game.
How many incompletions? Like 2 or 3?
4. 11 for 15.
11
with one interception. So technically 3 incompletions and 1 pick.
Yeah. And I do believe that we intercepted the ball in overtime to clinch the game.
Yep.
I'm going to guess, was it Parnell Motley?
Let me see. There you go. Good memory. Good job. Good memory, sir.
There we go. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if that's really sad that I remember that. Just for me.
No, that's not sad.
Because I don't know where my car keys are. So.
You have great long-term memory, just terrible short-term.
Sooner. My heart has been hurt. When it's trauma-induced, like memories, you don't forget. That's probably why.
That's true.
That was a trauma game. Definitely a trauma.
Hopefully
game.
We get some interceptions in this game too. Like we did in the Army game. I think we finished the game with 2 picks. But the bad part was it was that the first 5 possessions were all touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's when things were bad. You're like, ugh. And in the second half, it was kind of gross. Ugh.
Oh, it's just awful. Yeah, no, I mean,
Ugh.
You're gonna want Army to have like 15 to 17 like type passing attempts. That means that you're getting them in a lot of third and long, and so or Navy that is. Sorry. Yeah. So I mean, like, yeah. Hopefully we can see that. I tell you one thing, Jay, that I mean, just heartbroken for the kid, but then for just me selfishly, is I really was looking forward to seeing Andy Bass, and it sounds like he had a little
A setback.
mishap in practice this week, and it looked like he might have torn the ACL again. But it doesn't look like it's going to be that bad. So they think they're going to probably hold him out through spring, and then maybe he avoids the surgery again on that same knee, and because they always say that like they make it that knee usually is not the thing that goes out again. Usually it's the opposite leg. Once you've
Yep.
had a knee surgery, you either it's an Achilles or hamstring type of a situation just because you overcompensate for so long, and even when you get back into running shape. So, but yeah, Andy Bass not going to be able to make it. So a little heartbroken by that.
Yeah, I was a little sad seeing that as well and hearing that. When I saw the tweet go out, I was like, no. I was wanting to see Andy Bass play, but snake bitten, man. Can't wait till this year is actually over. What's going on, Mr. C. Davis? Asked the question about Zach Alley to West Virginia. So, Coop talked about this earlier. May mention that the way that everything was worded was that it appeared that people were hoping that would happen, not that it was going
Yeah.
to happen. I don't see it happening. The coaching waiting thing doesn't make sense to me. Still doesn't. And Topher brought it up earlier. Will Muschamp is still the coach in waiting at Texas. Somebody else was coaching waiting at Florida State after Jimbo Fisher was the coach in waiting behind Bobby Bowden. It doesn't seem like that ever works out. Utah fired their coach in waiting because their offense was bad. So it doesn't never line up. What's your thoughts on it?
I had somebody else, who has been on, a big reporting streak here earlier. Matt Blackwell. He was asking me if I'd heard anything else today, and it sounds. I mean, it just sounds to me like it's just West Virginia throwing it out there. It's the same thing that you get with these. The portal's kind of quieted down. I don't see Zach Alley leaving, especially like if you're taking the West Virginia job, and I mean, I just don't see it. I just don't see it at all. But it's good. It's good that people are already wanting Zach Alley. That means some respect has been thrown on his name already. I don't expect either Arbuckle or Alley to be here in 4 years. That's what you're going to want. If they're trying to get poached from other places, that's good. That means they're doing a good job. People are seeing that it's not Brent, just basically saying that it's Zach Alley doing stuff. Zach Alley's doing things. He's doing great stuff here at Oklahoma. He is he's an exciting guy. He's mini Brent, but yeah, I don't see it happening. Just because I think that somewhat this soon. That somewhat would be a conversation that he would go and have with Brent, because Brent is his go-to guy for stuff like that, and I think that Brent is probably going to say like, "Hey man, I want you to do what you're going to do." I think Brent supports that. I think Brent's also going to be honest and say, "I don't think this is it. I think that there is more opportunity down the road," and I think it would be good because I think that Zach Alley has the relationship with Brent that he can go and he can watch and he can see the positives and the negatives from the head coaching perspective, and talk to Brent about it. When Brent makes a mistake with clock management, he can say, hey, that, probably should have done this. This is what I was thinking. That's the conversations that he's going to have with Allie. And I think that he can go to him and say, hey, how about this? We're going to take it here. We are going to have, we're going to have a good year this year, you're going to have the opportunity to learn more. And once you finally have learned more, you're going to get these options are going to be here every single year. If they're already here this year, it's going to happen again next year. It's going to happen again the following year. Like, ready yourself to be the best head coach when it comes time for you to make that move. Because I don't think Zach Alley's ready for that. You don't go from Jacksonville State into Oklahoma for 1 year and then all of a sudden as a head coach, like still has a lot to learn.
Yeah, I agree. And like I said, the head coaching and waiting thing is kind of silly to me. And we still got a lot. He's still got a lot to learn. I truly believe he's going to end up pulling a Venables and staying at a job as long as possible before he takes the best option he can get his hands on. I don't think he wants to be a head coach just to be a head coach. Let's put it that way. It just doesn't sound like him at all and what he's doing. So, but we'll see. I just don't. It doesn't make any sense to me.
It seems like a step down. If you're going to go take a DC job at West Virginia right now, you're taking a step down. You're going to
it's a lateral movement.
You're going. I mean, I think it's a step down. It's not even lateral. I mean, it's tilted down. It may not be a step down, but it's tilted down. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, me either. It's just not one that. Again, I'll continue to say it just don't make sense. So
especially with some guys trending to come back here. You're wanting to tell them like, hey, listen, I wanted you guys to come back. Like, you guys are coming back. Let's run this thing again. Let's improve on this defense. Let's set the foundation for not hey, we did something really good in year 3 and then we kind of took steps back. Like, I think that they're building the foundation for the future of this Oklahoma defense right now, because it's going to be a transition for some newer guys to come in. Danny Stutzman, Billy Bowman, Ethan Downs. These guys are all going to be gone. Woody Washington. The guys are all going to be gone. So it's a new section of leadership. Maybe you see an Eli Bowen take some leadership. Maybe you see, if Gentry Williams, everything works out and he comes back, maybe he takes a bigger step in that leadership. Kip Lewis, Kobe McKenzie, Lewis Carter, Boganowski, Peyton Bowen, RSJ. Like, these guys are all going to have the chance to do a lot there. So there's a lot to come back and improve upon. And I think that it's going to be it, because, I mean, let's be honest. Some of the naysayers may say like, well, yeah, but can you do it without Billy Bowman and Danny Stutzman and Dominic Williams and all these guys? Like, what, can you do it without them? Now, Dom still, I know, could be a potential return, but, Jaden Jackson enters his sophomore year as one of the most sought after defensive tackles, in the country. People start tampering him, early in the season. And so can he take a next step? Can David Stone take the next step? And Zach Alley all of a sudden put some of these names in there to where it's 4 or 5 guys in the 3 deep on the SEC defense. Now, all of a sudden, you really got some respect on your own name.
Yeah. I guess the next question I wonder is just what sense would it make to just look at taking a West Virginia job? Just, I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about the game and who's left. What other question we got in here? Oh, this is a good question here from T.
I saw that one.
How many SEC teams will have a new QB next year? Let's go down the line. I'm
looking at it right now. So
there's a guarantee that Missouri, new quarterback, Auburn, Alabama should, unless they convince Jalen Milroe to stay. I'm just going to look at our schedule. LSU won't, so they're off. Tennessee will have their returner. Auburn.
10 in the whole SEC. It could be as
10
high
in the SEC. And in our schedule is what, 4?
So Alabama, once again, you said with Milroe. Auburn, we're going to have us a Jackson Arnold.
I don't know if Jackson's going to win the job, I'll be honest.
Well, we can go down that road another day, but it's going to be new one way or the other. Florida, DJ Lagway is going to take over as the full-time starter. So, I mean, there's
we don't play them.
Yeah, Carson Beck. Let's see here. LSU, Nussmeier's coming back. Missouri, Ole Miss is going to have a new quarterback. South Carolina, Still,
Nope.
as of right now, that's not going to change. Tennessee, you're going to get Nico again. Texas, you're going to have Arch.
So
So,
technically, 5 that we play will have a
yeah.
new quarterback, whereas Texas, I mean, Arch has been there for a couple years, so he kind of doesn't count.
Yeah. And then Michigan's
Um,
going to have probably a new quarterback too. Sooner Cowboys, good idea with that one. But not in SEC play, but we're going to play them.
it's interesting.
Because does Michigan want to run out Underwood in game 2 of the season on the road against Brent Venables? Or are they going to lean towards the 2 system or with the, because they got a transfer, right? They get, was it the Cal kid?
No, Mendoza went to Indiana.
That's right. Who did Michigan get? Somebody help us out in the Chizzy chat.
I mean, did they get anybody of substance?
No, it was
Because they got that quarterback from what. So let me go pull up Michigan real quick.
Underwood is the going to be the freshman. He's the kid who Portnoy and the Barstool kid, the guys threw the money at.
Yeah, and no, they haven't picked up an actual quarterback in the portal.
Okay, I thought
Mikey
that they had
King from
there.
Fresno State.
No State.
That's the guy.
I
Mikey
knew
King.
it was something like that.
I have no clue who this is.
Fresno, they played their bowl
Fresno
game
State.
last night. Fresno State did. They played it last night, right? Or 2 nights ago. But yeah,
Threw for 2,800 yards, 18 touchdowns, 11 picks. He's thrown for 8,000 yards in his career.
7-5 this year.
Yeah, and this is his 5th season.
So I mean, you're are they going after him as in case Underwood's not ready, or are they going after him for a competition?
No, they went after him because their new offensive coordinator Chip Lindsey was his OC at UCF. That makes sense. There's a logic there. So looking at the schedule, Illinois State. I don't know. I'm no point in even looking at Illinois State. We good there. Temple will have a new one because they got. You say what? You might play quarterback, right? Temple definitely got one because they fired Stan Drayton, and I think he's still jobless. Michigan's going to have a new quarterback, and we have no clue who it is. The good thing is you catch them early, which is always the best time to catch a true freshman. Get them in the first couple games, make life difficult for them. Also,
what we said about Nico going into this year is you get him early, but it kind of looked like it was pretty much the same throughout the whole year. It was.
Yep. I am not looking forward to seeing them November 1st. I'll just say that next year. I'm definitely going to Knoxville for that game. I don't look forward to seeing that next year.
He might be pretty excited to see some of those guys, again. I'm being sarcastic because I mean, their offensive line was taking a beating. And, once they got up by 2 touchdowns, they basically mailed it in and told Nico, turn and hand it off.
Hand that ball off, please. Stop trying to do stuff. Let me pull up the schedule again.
All right.
So Temple will have a new one. Auburn will have a new quarterback. So we'll be going against at least 3 to 4 new quarterbacks to start the season.
Yep. And
then
somebody made the comment about, will Texas have a new quarterback? Like,
Arch is going to be the starter next year.
I'm just telling you, Texas is about to have a Jackson Arnold, Dylan Gabriel situation, and a lot of people are going to. I mean, they have to start out strong, and they have to get after it because people are going to start that junk where they're saying, was it smart to maybe let Quinn go? Because I mean, Quinn's essentially in limbo still.
He is. And
now
I'm wondering where he ends up. Like, where do you go?
Because if you go to the NFL, I think Quinn's a 4th or 5th round draft pick. Third round maybe is the ceiling. I know sure shit ain't going to be in the first 10 picks like they've said for like 4 straight years. But I mean, I don't know. Is there a playoff team? Like, is there Georgia? Does Georgia say we could win with him? That is it. I'm trying to think of any other big teams that have a big quarterback need because Quinn's just one of those guys that when things are going well and the plays are scripted well for him, he looks good. But when it's off schedule and he starts getting off of his mark, those are the things that were some of the same things have kind of plagued him for 3 years. So let's I don't know. I mean, I don't know if an SEC team. Pavia got his 36th year, so he's coming back.
Yeah, he did. So
Ole Miss.
there's most of the SEC. You're right. There's about 10 teams that have new quarterbacks coming in.
Did Ole Miss catch anybody?
Ole Miss did snatch up someone out of the portal. Let's go look at their portal class real quick. Who did Ole Miss get at their quarterback? It's funny, we're just looking at next season and you're completely overlooking the game coming up. That was a good question, though. They brought in 15 portal people already. And the crazy part is the best part of the portal has yet to start. No, Austin Simmons is going to be the quarterback, it looks like, because no new portal people.
Yeah, so, I mean, they're still going to be looking for somebody. I mean, Kentucky seems to be spending some good money in the portal. Do they want to roll out with is he?
Who would they snatch up at quarterback? Oh,
no, they got somebody.
Not Calzada. Definitely ain't gonna be the starting quarterback, is he?
Vandegrift will be a senior, a true senior.
Yeah, and Brock will still be there.
I think they're wanting to kind of get away from Brock Vandegrift if possible.
Agreed.
I mean, he was the second.
Awful.
He was the second worst quarterback ahead of our guy. So I mean, like he had a rough year.
And the bad part about it is it's so close that technically he was the worst quarterback.
Yeah, he was threw for 1,593 yards, 10 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, a QBR of 56.
He threw for 11 more. What's this? He threw for 172 more yards than Jackson Arnold, and he played one more full game. And Jackson didn't play 10 full games.
Yeah. But maybe Kentucky. I mean, unless you said, I mean, I don't see anywhere in the chat where anybody said anything, but
yeah. So based upon the teams we actually play, everybody, you've got, put us back up again. Yeah, Missouri, Bama, Ole Miss. So
you got 3 knowns.
Out of last 6 games, 3 of them are guaranteed to have a new quarterback. Texas technically has a new quarterback. I don't know how much you count that, but it's a new quarterback with Arch. It counts. Auburn will definitely have a whole new setup. Michigan will have a new quarterback. Definitely Temple as well. Probably Kent State too. I don't really care about Kent State or Illinois State. Shouldn't be too big of a deal, but man.
Kent State was one of the worst teams in college football. So
They were really bad. So questions asked is, who is Ole Miss quarterback? It's Austin Simmons. He came in for Jackson Dart at one point in the game. I don't know what the heck they're going to look like next year, though. They once again dipped heavy in the portal, so it's going to be the 3rd year in a row that they have a whole bunch of portal dudes and still don't finish out the way they're supposed to.
And this is the the thing we talked about with the mercenary teams, not panning out. It's, I mean, we had to go to the portal just to kind of upgrade. Whereas like Ole Miss, it seems like they just did the same exact thing they did before they hit the portal hard, which just might be who they are.
And if I'm correct, the Austin Simmons kid is the one that moved up 2 grades. I think he actually jumped 2 grades.
I can check.
Yeah, that was him. He actually reclassified 2 grades and went to Ole Miss early, which is still the wildest thing in the world to me.
Yeah, now is he going to start their bowl game, or is Dart going to give him one last hurrah?
That's a good question. I think he probably has to. It has to be Dart, because Dart still needs to work on his draft status. Like, he's got to up his grade.
Can he help it?
I mean, how good of a quarterback draft is it? Like, I think Shedeur is still the best quarterback in the draft. Cam Ward, there's questions.
I hate to say it, but I think Shedeur is. And going into the season, I didn't think this was going to happen.
Yeah, no, Pat Shurmur made that dude look like an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
Shout out to Shurmur. Sheesh.
Can the Dallas Cowboys find somebody to take Dak Prescott off their hands and hire Dion and go draft Shedeur? I don't think the Cowboys are doing bad enough to have that option, because they don't have draft stock, that's very big, because I think they've had a couple. Yeah, I mean, but listen, Shadeur's going to go to somebody, and I think in the right system, he's going to do well. But he got away with a lot of just depending on Travis Hunter and ripping it over to Travis Hunter, and that's Travis Hunter's not going to be that. There's not going to be that much separation between his top wide receiver and a defensive back in the NFL. So I'm wondering how he'll handle that. But I digress.
Yeah. Yeah, and Austin Simmons was the one that jumped 2 grades. He was just an older one because he was born in November. So he was like an older 2025 kid, and he ended up in 2023. So, interesting. Stevie G asked a great question. Can the Cowboys just free CeeDee Lamb?
Well, unfortunately, they just paid him. Listen, CeeDee Lamb's he's going to make a ton of money. He may never win anything, but he's going to make a ton of money.
Yeah, he really is. A legend at the bank.
Yeah,
so happy for him on that.
He's going to get to go play goofy-ass Pro Bowl games every year.
Yeah, I would love him in Tampa. That would be amazing. Him and Baker Mayfield, and Sterling Shepard.
Baker, and then him, Baker, Godwin, and Evans just out there. That would just be unfair.
I want that to happen. Inject that into my veins.
Well, Tampa's issue is an offense right now. Tampa's defense couldn't stop a nosebleed.
Boo. I like Todd Bowles. He needs to be fired now. Kind of upsets me that he's doing that to my team, but whatever.
Who did Todd Bowles? Never mind. I'm not gonna go there. I was trying to track down, but enough rabbit holes.
When Todd Bowles took the job?
No, he kind of just de facto became the head coach after
Arians decided to leave. Yeah, after they won the Super Bowl. Yeah, because his problem was it was Todd Bowles' defense that was really good that attracted Brady, and then Arians left, and they just elevated them, and they were okay. And then now all the good defensive players that Bowles brought in the first time are now gone.
Well, then he also wasn't he a head coach?
The Jets,
and
yes.
Of course, nobody's been successful.
Nobody's successful as a Jets head coach
since Ryan.
Yep, since Rex and his foot fetish.
Rex Ryan and the butt fumble. That's the last time the Jets were successful, was when they had the butt fumble. They had that badass defense.
And the Chicago Bears are losing 6-3 to the Seahawks. I have a question on this. How do the Chicago Bears ruin every quarterback? How?
Um,
New
like first of all,
regimes.
it's the offense. I mean, they will not give any of their quarterbacks a good offensive line. They just won't do it. And it seems like the only time they get a really good offensive line and good running game, they end up with a massive quarterback injury and end up going and picking up guys like Kyle Orton. Kyle Orton was decently successful in Chicago. I mean, they brought him in, and but yeah, I mean, it's just almost everybody. I mean, it's they're starting to get there with the Cleveland. Cleveland, at least Baker took them to the playoffs, and now everybody when Cleveland wants his ass back. But I mean, they're strapped. I mean, they're gonna have to cut Deshaun Watson. They literally can't do this again. And I mean, he was god awful when he was playing, and this is going to be one of the biggest, you know, egg on the face situations in Cleveland. But anyway, Chicago. I mean, it is. I mean, it's bad, and it's year one. A lot of guys don't look good in year one, and then start really catching it in year two. And so, I mean, let's see what happens next year. I mean, they're going to have to go find a head coach that's, I mean, demand some respect. I mean, there's discipline issues on that team. I mean, they literally pissed away 3 games in a row at the end of the game. Did they also have the Hail Mary? Was the successful Hail Mary happened against them too, right?
Yeah. It's just fascinating to see because this actually leads over into even as we prepare for next season going up against Auburn. And love my guy PG. I'm trying to figure out and understand what the heck makes him think anybody will throw for 3,000 yards at Auburn. Like, that's another one of those weird ones because they've only happened once since 2000. That's like the weirdest thing. No, Cam Newton did not even throw for 3,000 yards there, for like 2,800. It's the weirdest and damnedest thing. Like, I think we've had 10 since 2000, if not more. They've had one.
It's
wild.
It's crazy. But I mean, you think that offense is going. I mean, listen, right before we played Auburn, they were a badass offense that just kept on getting in their own way. And it seems like once they finally quit getting in their own way, their offense went to crap. Maybe it was just conference, and maybe that was it. But I mean, their offense really was not scary at any point. I mean, after playing us.
Yeah. Ooh, can this Harold Fannin guy go into the bowl? Can he go into the portal? The Bowling Green tight end?
Oh yeah, he was I think he has like 1,500 yards receiving.
13, but he set the record.
Yeah, he is.
Hey, who got a connection in Bowling Green? Can y'all go?
I already asked Jay Willard.
Hey, take him a bag of Brahms burgers.
Yep.
And please get us that. Get him.
Oh, hey man. I said it. He said Jay said he's NFL bound. And he'll probably be. He'll probably be a first tight end.
Yeah, I mean, he's the first tight end taken off.
Everybody's going to be looking for that next guy, and guess what? This is a guy that like Kansas City says, "Hey, just come on in here. You don't have to go anywhere crazy fast, and you're going to learn from somebody who's pretty good at this job." This is where they go after somebody like that because he's like, the small school might push him towards the end of the first round. But hey, Jay, I don't know if you saw it. We got a Washington State fan in here hanging out.
I see that. What's going on? NIL killed Wazoo. I'm sorry. Can you Sooners give me any hope for my team next year? Absolutely. Washington State always figures it out.
Hey, I'll say this is, when Leach was there, he gave you guys a pulse again, right? There was a lot of hope again, and then this cat comes in and he starts doing some good winning. And I still, even though he ended up bouncing was it Wake Forest?
Yeah. Their head coach just bounced to Wake Forest.
Yeah. Even though he just bounced to Wake Forest, right before he left, he made a pretty nice speech about, hey, listen, this shows that what we're doing is working out well, and we could, you come here to produce. If you don't get the big time offers, come here. We'll develop you. And yeah, it was a pretty good speech, and then he outed it. And so, it kind of lost some weight with me, but I still think that's it is, and until you guys, get an invitation to come to a conference, I mean, you just gotta focus on, number one, this is your alma mater. I'm guessing, this is who you're around. And, there's a lot of schools like you who just need to realize that this is still a big thing, because you guys are supposed to be able to root for the team of your alma mater and who you're around, and you still have some love for that, and that still brings a lot of passion to a lot of people. I mean, look at like a team like Tulsa here, and just right down the road from me. They are tiny. They're never going to go anywhere or do anything big, and they don't have a chance to. I mean, they're not even farming out for bigger teams. But you guys at least put a good product out there and win. And so just continue to do that. Support the kids that are there, that chose to go there and chose to stick around, because I mean, it's those guys are there for a memory and to create a memory and create something special, and your support means a lot to them.
Yeah, definitely. Lemon, good night. Good to see you. Grand opening, grand closing. So you're getting old, so you definitely old. Take your old butt to bed. I'm about to get ready to do the same soon too. But
Yeah.
But no, yeah. Unfortunately for you all there, Washington State. You're after the head coach decided to bounce too. After both of his coordinators took other jobs, it was kind of the writing on the wall. It's certain programs. That's just kind of who you are. We love you, we appreciate you, but
You got to leverage when you got the opportunity. I mean, look down south in Los Angeles. Somebody could have probably leveraged a little bit sooner than they did, and now that the name's not hot anymore. I mean, Matt Campbell's gone up and down and up and down and up and down, being the number one name, and now he's not. So I mean, I also say to the coach, it's got to take the opportunity. I guess it sucks, but man,
yeah.
Keep rooting for him.
Ooh, cool. They got 33 outgoing transfers with 0 incoming. Big yikes.
Well, can we give back Mateer? No, we're close enough to color. Just watch our games and pretend that it's still Washington State.
I like that. That's your best bet there. T has a good question. How aggressive will BV get after this bowl game in the portal? I'm gonna say probably very, because I think the better players and the ones that they hope are going to be portal bound will probably populate after the playoffs.
Yeah, and listen, there's already guys who, if you're seeing a guy from Georgia or somebody in the playoffs hop in the portal, these guys weren't playing. They're not part of the future plans. They're probably being encouraged to explore while the opportunity's there. But when each time that these teams in these rounds lose, you're going to see portal entries. They get 5 additional days after their team loses or whatever. So I mean, you can hop in. So I mean, listen, there's some guys that have hopped in the portal here the past couple of days that I've even been like, oh yeah, let's go. That Tulane tight end. He's a guy that I'd love to have. But
Alex Bowman.
I got to say that I think that we probably have our eyes on some certain people. And I still think a tight end coach situation happens, and I think that you'll get some opportunity with that too.
Yeah, it's true. That's a good point. So, yeah, just, Mateer's not coming back because the coach isn't coming back. And, heck, Washington State doesn't even have Arbuckle as a head coaching candidate. When I went and looked at Coug 247, they did not have Arbuckle as. Yeah. Well,
listen, hey, and brother, I will say this: is root for Mateer. I mean, it's you got to think this. I mean, obviously his offense coordinator was the one that bounced first. His head coach. I mean, so it makes sense now. It's not a situation where Caleb Williams could have came back to us, and we wanted to see him fail at every turn. But man, I just say root for Mateer just as a person.
Yeah.
And know that he comes to a place that has not seen good quarterback play in several months. So
yeah, Yeah, there's a few people that of course they're gonna go after, and I mean, to me, go snatch up Shepard from Alabama. That would be awesome. Jamarcus Shepard would be a great hire. That'd be a big smile on my face. Yeah. Yeah, we appreciate that. We definitely know that he is a gamer, and that's you know, being from Texas, he's definitely gonna show up. But we appreciate him, my man. And hey, I'm hoping you guys get a good coach, because I've always enjoyed watching Washington State over the years, especially like when Leach first got there. It's always so much fun to watch. Zachariah,
Yep.
we'll answer this one real quick. Running back room looking like. I mean,
Good.
we lost Caleb Hicks and Emeka Megwa. Everybody else is still intact.
Yeah.
Do you think anybody else portals?
As of right
'Cause
now,
I don't.
the Sawchucks are staying. Javante still. I mean, he's going to run it back. You've got X Rob, which has shown that showed this year that he was the best running back on the field. Taylor Tatum fixes the fumble problems. That's going to help him out significantly. Andy Bass is going to be listed as running back, but incoming is Mr. Blaylock. And
Torrey's going to be so good.
Torrey has a chance to be just as special as X Rob and Tatum, and he's a guy who just go watch his film, because I mean when dude hits the corner, like, he compliments these guys really well. And but there's not, I mean, this is one where you're like, this is a chance to be a really special room if the because it seems like at the end of the year, we got the running game kind of figured out a little bit. And so let's see it continue here this tomorrow, and they'll go after it all spring, and they'll continue to get better. I still think Sawchuck I still think Sawchuck will do something before it's all said and done. And it'd be a good problem to have too many guys that you can depend on.
No, I totally agree with you there. You've got a pretty solid room. Like, we thought that room was going to be the strongest one, and technically, statistically, they were. But now you get to put everybody to work, and hey, we'll see who wins it out. I think X-Rob is probably the main dude, just because of how he was able to carry things in that Bama game. But at the same time, we'll see. But all right, what's your final prediction on the game, Coop?
I'm going 31-13 Oklahoma.
Wow, it's pretty good. I am on the 21-10 boat, mainly because I think Navy is going to run a lot of clock.
Yeah.
But because of the speed difference that we have, based upon the people that watch film have pointed out, we should be able to dust them. This should be a track meet for us. Dudes were running past them in a lot of their games.
Yeah.
What made them good is that they just kept the ball and ran it by. So I think that 21-10 is where I'm leaning. You know what? Forget it. 30-10.
Okay.
I think our defense can hold them to 10 points. 30-10. And I love the Sooner Cowboys, right on brand. Always picking against the Sooners. Right on brand. I love it. Yeah, I'm 30-10. I honestly think this defense is going to take pride and try their best to not even allow a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I can see them locking in to do that. So, all right, thank you for pulling up. Hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, rate, review, give us 5 stars. We're out. We will talk to you all probably after the game. I'll be floating around. We'll be live on Sunday like we always are. But yeah, holla at us. Peace.